Welcome, everyone, to Motor City Aquatics. We've been knocking the dust off over here. There's a lot of it to get things up and running. I can't remember last time we went live. Hopefully this is live. It says it's live, but hopefully it's ticking and cruising. Oh, what's up, Mr. Kane? Jeff Kane, what's up? Happy Thanksgiving. Just thought we'd come on here and say hello. Mary Page Flynn. Welcome. Joseph Stanley. Yes, I am alive. Happy Thanksgiving. Yes, I am alive. Yep. I don't know. Just needed to kind of decide what I was going to do, figure out where I was going with what I had and what my next steps were to come up with better content. Instead of the same thing, everything just started to become repetitive. It seemed like every time I turned something on, it was just repetitive. So I decided to step back and figure out what I like to do, the drive part of it. And shrimp, I still have, the tanks that I wanted to keep, I still have those. This whole time I've kept these. But I'm doing more with the fish up here, with the plecos. I'm trying to, breeding makes me happy, but the thing is I was just overwhelmed. I mean, during COVID, I did a lot of tanks, to pay bills and stuff. But I just started to become overwhelmed by it, so many tanks. And the content and everything, that was fine. But then I started to burn out. Like it was, I felt that no matter what it was, no matter what we were talking about, it just ended up being about the same thing. Um, and I wasn't bringing anything more to the table. I don't, uh, I don't want to, I'd rather just come on here and have just kick it about just anything, instead of coming on here and not having, new stuff. And I just got to the point to where I felt that shrimp have gone, they're just, shrimp themselves aren't, it's not ended, but you can only talk about so much, you can only talk so much about shrimp. It's an animal that doesn't take much. They're not hard. Um, but it just seemed like it was time to move on. I learned a bunch. Uh, got all the information in the world. I always have it to spread it, but I feel like I had to move on to something that, stuff that really makes me happy. And it was breeding fish. So I've always bred fish. It was just now it's, breeding fish that, instead of just putting a bunch of cichlids in a tank, and they breed, 800 fish and, you can't sell them because there's no place, you can get cichlids everywhere. I wanted to go with something that was a little tougher, but stuff that I really enjoy, and I really enjoy nanofish. So I've always enjoyed nanofish. It was just, it was easier to go with the easier breeding fish. So, but now that I have the CPDs and the multis, I've decided to push. Now multis are pretty simple. They just like really good water. Um, and that's another thing that I've been working hard with is the water. So it's like I work so hard with the shrimp, with water. What's the best, or what, not what's the best, but what do they do well in? you know there's 200 people out there that'll tell you this, that, and the other. But like we've all spoken about, everyone has different water. I don't care what you do with it. If you're not running an RO machine, um everyone's water is different. And I still think even if you run an RO machine, people's waters can be different. So I'm just to the point now to where uh I'm working really hard on the fish. um that in itself was a learning experience, because some people say CPDs are easy, um and they are easy once you get the what's the word I'm looking for, the your mathematics down to what is best, your water, what you have to do to your water to make them happy, how hard, how soft. There's not much scientific work into it. It was just tweaking. I worked so hard on shrimp that I more or less had to use that in doing these fish. Now I'm sure there's people here that breed these fish, and then they don't have an issue with it. Well, I've never bred them, so I didn't have an issue. I just had to learn, so let's see who's all here. Ooh. I told my wife, I said, "Hey, I'm going to go on here. I'm going to see how many people come on here. It's been so long. I thought I'd be talking to myself." So, it's really nice to see the folks that are here. SC Catahoulous, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. Crypt Keeper, what up? Welcome, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. Jeff King. Good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. Yep. So that's where I'm at. I made the video on the super red longfin pleco, bristlenose plecos. Here's the thing: I had the first batch, and I got like it was actually like a secret batch because I didn't know that he was sitting on eggs. So I got like, I don't know, 4. It was, they're young. Now I've been breeding plecos for a long time. Plecos for me are like digging worms up in the backyard. Easiest thing in the world. I don't know. I have water for it. Just the easiest thing in the world. Well, these plecos that I had gotten, who'd I get them from? I got them from oh gosh, I can't even think of their business. I don't know. It's been so long. Anyways, it took a long time to grow them up because they're babies. I think they were $32 a piece. I got them on sale. I bought 6 of them. I lost 2 of them. I had them in my 125 with some big fish. I don't know if they ate them or if they just died, but they've taken forever to grow up. So I moved them over here with the CPDs, thinking, it'll help over here. They'll grow. I mean, I moved them out of the 125 a long time ago, but I finally moved them in here because I had them in a 15-gallon. I never really had the right spot for them. So I put them in here. They started to explode. They was doing really good. And the male, the one I knew that was a male, immediately he started to get the heavy bristles, but he was small. He was the one that would sit the cave. So the first few, like I said, it was like 5. Let's say 5. Let's just go with 5 because I know I pulled at least 5 out and I put them in the multifasciitis tank. Reason being is those shells in there, those snail shells in there, or escargot shells that I put in there, they get a lot of algae on them. Well, I don't have plecos in there. So now I put the super red babies in their long fins. I think I have maybe 3 in there right now. I put those in there to start cleaning the shells up, and the shells actually are starting to look brand new. So they're doing an incredible job. But anyways, so I had the first set, and then the second set came, and I really didn't know because like I would check all the time, and like he would trick you, he'd be in there acting like he was fanning, but he never was. And then one time he was upside down in there, up on the top, upside down. And I peeked in there, but I had it angled so much, so they didn't feel so nervous, but I could still see like kitty corner from the end of the tank. I shined a light in there. I could see the eggs. Now it was a really big. I haven't put photos up of it yet, but it was a good clutch. Well, then I don't know what happened. First time ever. It's never ever happened to me, but it was like maybe 3 days into the clutch. I would guess, let's say maybe I don't know, 2 days. I found him all the way over here on the left side of the tank, upside down, dead. And the stomach looked weird. So I have no clue whatsoever. All the other plecos are good. A pleco won't starve in a couple days. So I dose the tank. If there's some sort of worm in there or something that got to anything, so I medicated the tank, did all that stuff, water changes and everything. These plecos are great, so my fear is out of the 4 that I had, I knew I had one male because he had large amounts of bristles. So now I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Plus, I don't have a male to sit on them. So I took the eggs out, put them in a container. And I put them in one of my breeding boxes. I think there's one back there. Yeah, I actually put them in here. A little marble or something. I put them in this. If you could see, it's full of holes. It's what I would sell when with the shrimp. But I put them in here, and then I hooked it inside of the tank. I put it in the tank in front of the filter, so the water would blow here. Then I have the Jabeo, their round pump fans. I got some new equipment. I'll make videos on that. But these are super, super cool. And here, while you're sitting here, I can do this. I think I can get the controller over here. Hold on. There's wires everywhere. Oh, really? Hold on 1 second. Technical difficulties. Hold on. One second. All right, here we go. Get this back over here. So this is the Jabeo remote for Smart Wave Maker. If you guys want, this thing is the cat's meow. You can hook this to it's got the clip, so you can put it on, suction it to your tank. I just hook it on the top of my metal frame over there, but there's a pleco on her. I turn it on. Sometimes the little baby plecos hide in it and they eat all the algae. But well, we'll come back to this. Let me finish the story real quick. Anyway, so he died. I put the babies in that container, put it in front of the filter, turn the fan on, turn this Jabeo pump on, hence controller, and just blew at it for, a few days, and they all hatched. I think I got 36 all healthy. So once they hatched inside of here, then I took it over to the 40 breeder tank. I just picked it up, let it drain down because it won't drain down further than this last row of holes. So I let it drain down, carried it over there, sunk it into that tank over there, waited for them to eat their sack, their egg sack, and where more or less their final shape of a pleco is there. And then I just sank this to the bottom and just let them come out themselves. And I have large pieces of wood over there. They go nuts. I feed them. What is that? Oh crap! Well, of course, the French cut green beans. I have those in there. I have a lot of slimier stuff over there for them to eat. To give them a bunch of nutrition and stuff. So now, out of the three, I mean, I know female plecos can have some bristles, but one of them here, the two females I have, they have really long side fins, because these are long fins. And the other one's starting to grow bristles, and the side fins are shorter. So I'm hoping that that's a male, and I put caves back in there, and it's been going into the cave more than the other ones. So I'm hoping that that's a male. If not, I'm going to have to grow all of them up, because for me to go buy an adult of this, that's $300. And I don't have $300 to go buy a male. That's why I was thinking, well, if I knew someone that had males, I could trade them some babies for, a male, and then kick this all back in again. But that's for a later date. So anyways, I did get this wave maker. I have two of them. Now this is the 10 over there, and the 125 is the 20. But this blows so much. This is so powerful. It's better than any fan, anything. And even though it's in a nano tank, it's good because it helps like stir the bottom up. It helps, if on a water change, you turn it on and have it on its lowest to help move it around. It helps me do a lot, but it gives that flow, like it imitates, like if a storm's coming or if the rain had fallen, anything, just to make things a little different than just the filters that I have in there. Because on this side, I have the, gosh, I can't remember the name of them, but over here I got the Zoomed to help blow move the tank around. They're incredible filters. I mean, they're like for turtles and stuff. I think I paid I paid very little for it, but the power on it is like 7.5 watts, but I have to clean them out all the time because they work so well. And then these filters are the God, I can't remember the name of them. What are these things? These are the new filters. They are they're the Seachem, whatever the heck these are. I don't know. You don't need to know that. Tidal, that's what they are. The Tidal 55. It's really good. If I would have went to the 75, I mean, I could have went to the 75, and then turned it down a little to have that power. But the 75 gets larger. It's a gaudier filter. So the 55 is good. I got it turned full bore. And I could take this Zoomed filter out if I want and just put this pump fan over here. I haven't come up with a decision yet of what I want to do, but it's a really good product. Really, really good product. But the Tidal 55 is enough. It's not too much for the fish. It doesn't stop them from laying eggs. They lay eggs. The hard part for me is getting in there and getting them before they eat them. Now, I have it set up to where they can't get to them, but they have to fall down and go through my hookup and then down into the bottom. But the ones that don't, they eat. But, there's not much I can do if they eat them before I can get over here and get them. So, That's where we're at with that. What's going on here? Best fish shrimp room is always one full of the species you enjoy. Yep, 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 yep. That's that was my whole thing. It's the truth of it, if like I was saying before, if it was my job every day to take care of what I had, and that was just my job, then that would have been fine. Um to be 100% honest, when I injured myself and my neck was fractured in 3 spots, and I started my YouTube channel, and you know, everyone helped me get through it and made my days incredible. And I started the build of the shrimp room and started buying, and receiving, hundreds of shrimp, and all this stuff. It filled the void. It helped. Everyone that comes here knows that um that I have anxiety, depression. I battled it for years, but it's nothing that I complain about. I just like to share it with people to show you, hey, um this is a really good avenue. It's a very good outlet to use to help you. Um, on days that I know that I'm stressed or depressed, or and it could be nothing that causes it. You don't even know why. I mean, it's great to come down here, stare at these. My wife does it. Luke plays here on the computer next to the tanks all day, so it's very it's relaxing, it's helpful. But what I started to notice was, I started to, um, overdo it. Let's say, one tank helped me out like 5%. 2 tanks made me happier, so I started get 10%. 5 tanks, this much, and then more tanks, and, I was like, "Wow, this is cool," and then, then it got to a certain point, and I was like, "Whoa, all right, this is great." And then after a while, uh, when I was starting to heal and I was starting to work, and then put in 8 hours, and got have to come home and do water changes, and then you know make the water and mix the water, and um, all this stuff. Then I started to catch myself become lazy on my job, because I'd be like, all right, I'll do it tomorrow. When before it was like, oh, I come down here and do 15 tanks in a day, it's no big deal. I have a certain amount of tanks I would do a day. Well, then after a while, I started to notice that the depression and anxiety and everything was subsiding, that the tanks really helped. But I realized that going back to work helped. Getting out of the house is a big thing. Depression, really, really kicks in when you stay in the house and you're in this little box and you can't get out. Um, and you feel that you're safe in that little box, but after a while, it starts to close in around you, and the safety factor starts to become a negative factor, and it'll actually create depression. So, I started looking at it going, all right, look, something, I'm starting to get out. Now, what helped me through my accident, depression, is now starting to create depression, because it's starting to hinder me and create an issue. So, that's when I started consolidate, and that's when I more or less I start. Here's another thing: is I started to see a lot of people starting to do what I was doing. I mean, there's people out there, if you pay attention and if you look, they might have only had 1 to 5 tanks 2 to 3 years ago, and now they have taken on so many tanks because they see people that have so many tanks, and they go, oh, well, if they could do, I can do that. And there's a lot to it. There's electricity bill. There's the water. I mean, that's not too bad, but and then your time, it takes away, your daily uh whatever you do throughout the day, it can change your life. And you start to see people that aren't as young that are taking on all these tanks because, maybe, they the tanks are starting to help with the anxiety, help with the depression, help with the loneliness. And then I'm sitting here going, oh my gosh, they have so many tanks, they're going to be overwhelmed and swamped, and they're spending all this money and they don't even have a job anymore, they're retired. And it's just like, whew, it's like, man, it's so uh that stuff started to become scary too, to see other people going down an avenue that I went down. But I was just like, yeah, all right, I have to back this truck up. I have to slow it down, you know, and realize, where everything has taken me. So now, I'm to where I can take care of this even after working a lot of hours. It's not a big deal because the fish that are in here don't make a huge mess. So I don't have to, do huge water changes all the time. I'll do water changes, but they're small because I just like siphon the poop from the plecos off the bottom. So uh, that's where we're at with that. So it's not a stress anymore. The only thing I stress out about is, figuring out, but I've figured it out, what they like, what the water type is, what to feed them, how often to feed them. And do I want to power feed them to grow them faster? Uh, stuff like that, so, and those are positive stresses because what I thought, uh, I could do in 2 minutes, I wasn't able to do it. So growing, you know, of egg scatterer like this, it's kind of like what Danios, all sorts of stuff like that. You have to get you have to get them separated from the eggs, or you're just not gonna be successful. So, uh, I just took it upon myself to try a bunch of different ways to do it. And some of the new style stuff that you see, I see people on YouTube creating all these contraptions to blow eggs up tubes and, into this and into that and separating. I've come to find out, at least with my fish, that separating the fish and put them in another tank, um, they don't seem to like that as much. CPDs seem to like, at least the ones that I do, they seem happier when they're all together in a really large community. Um, you take, three, four, five out, put them in another tank. I think they need a longer time in that tank to calm down. And then I'm reaching in there all the time to check the bowl or the container, whatever I have in there. And it just seemed that, they lose their color. They're not happy. They're stressed out. So now I do everything in the big tank. I have all my containers in here. I collect the eggs in here. I pull them out. I want them to be happy and comfortable. So I think that that's the best way for me. I've seen many people do it to where they have them in separate tanks. But I don't know how long they've had them in those separate tanks. So I just think it's better, because I want this tank to where there's like 100 CPDs in it. So, I mean, the egg uh, production is like a lot, so every day I can go in here, pull out containers, and they're just literally jam packed, to where I'm having multiple females in one container laying eggs, throughout the day. So, um, you know, if I could get 100 eggs a day, that would be great. Right now, I'm getting roughly, if, if I get up, because see, here's the thing: is people say, well, I had one guy who bred them. He said, get them before the lights come on. Well, I turn my own lights on; they're not on a timer. Then other people say, well, they'll start to lay eggs after you turn the lights on within an hour to 2 hours. So I do notice, because see, I have my basement windows here. So that's another positive thing is my fish wake up naturally every day to the sunlight. They go to bed. Not all well because of the weather now. I shut the lights off, or Luke shuts them off when he's done playing video games. So like around 9:30, uh, the lights go off. But they wake up every day to sunlight. So I don't have, I'm not coming over here and turning the lights on. So they start laying eggs to their natural, time ticker. It's not, I don't have them in a room where it's pitch black, and when I turn the lights on, they think that the sun comes up. So if I don't come over here like first thing in the morning, I come over here and they're just swarming around these bulls. If I don't come over here and pull them out, and they don't drop down, let's say they lay 30, let's say they lay 15 eggs. Well, if only 4 fall in time and they eat the rest, well, I'm only getting 4. So I have to get over here and get them, and that's not always the easiest thing. So that's another thing we have to figure out too. But yeah, so that's where we are. I don't mean to ramble, but I haven't been on here in a while. I'm just trying to get out some positive information. And but if I have not said happy Thanksgiving to anyone on here, thank you. Happy Thanksgiving, and thank you for coming to hang out. No, we got 12 people on here. Holy crap. What do we got? Oh, Crypt Keeper was asking some shrimp questions. Just curious, who else prefers 3 or 4 stripes on their crystals versus the higher priced 1 to 2? Are you talking crystal reds and crystal blacks? Because yeah, 3 to 4 is it depends on what way they go too, but 3 to 4 was always my favorite. 4, I think I like 3 the best. What are you feeding the CPDs? I'm feeding bloodworms and brine shrimp. My the adults hold on, let me see. The tubs I think are over here. Hold on. So I feed them multiple things, but so they get a bunch of nutrients and stuff. I have this one's krill, the other one's I can't remember what the other one is, but this is look how big this tub is. This is Northfin. And if you guys remember, over the years, I fed my shrimp Northfin, and they were the little granules. But one of the biggest things that was in them was always the black fly larvae. So this is Northfin. As you see, $40. But there is so much food in this. Crazy. Now look, I keep it over here in this big sucker. Now this is mixed. This is this stuff and the other stuff. This is krill. That one is it's the green stuff. I can't remember. Well, it's not green, but anyways, the leaves are as big as the bucket. But this is, it's high-end food. They love the flake. I'm sorry, I can't read it. It's not a language that I speak. At least that side's not. Maybe this side is. Oh yeah, krill meal, Antarctic krill meal, wheat flour, high DHA, omega-3 herring meal, organic kelp. I think that's what the other one is. Spirulina, garlic, blah, 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 and then all the vitamins and this and that, What does it say? With whole Antarctic krill meal used as its main ingredient, Northfin krill flake formula is the best natural color enhancing supplement by feeding Northfin's unique filler-free formulas daily together with our krill flake. That's what, krill flake. We guarantee radiant colors of all your aquatic fish. The other one, I can't. I'd have to get. Let me see what it is. I hate not knowing the answer. Oh, okay. So this one is kelp flake. And it's all made in Canada. Give a shout out to our Canadian brethren. But also, I don't see the sticker on here, but also this was $40. Well, of course I didn't pay. And it's brand of the year. It wins brand of the year. This stuff is no joke. It's really good stuff. But this is this is so small. Organic kelp, DH omega-3, herring meal, wheat flour, whole Antarctic krill meal, spirulina, garlic, blah, blah, blah. Focuses on the healthier herbivore fish. Unlike other herbivore flake formula, Northfin kelp flake formula uses premium organic certified kelp as its main ingredient. So I just put these two together. I break it up into there, and then I put it in this container. We all know these because you get them from the pet store. The $8.99. And so I have it in here. And you see it's all red. It's all different colors from all the goodness. But yeah, I just put it between my fingers and turn it to dust and put it in there. They go nuts. I also feed frozen baby brine. I don't feed brine shrimp to them. I have frozen brine shrimp, but most of it's pretty big. And I have my container right here. Let's see if I can move this. There's my bottle. I made some baby brine. Here's the baby brine that I hatch. I'm no pro. I mean, I don't know the best brand to get. I see people get the cans and they keep them in the refrigerator and they do really good with them. But the ones these are the San Francisco that you get at the pet store. This reminds me of like an old commercial when I was a kid, So you put them in there and little seahorses and stuff, but then he also has those little packets. They're those little pink packets. I don't know if it'll. Yeah, it's hatch mix, so it has the eggs and the salt in it already. You can put it in a little brine thing. But anyways, I didn't start I don't make a ton of this right now because all I have is the adults in here. But now I have a tank of probably like 80 or more, fry. So they're at the point right now to where I can feed it to them, but they're not all there yet. So another thing I feed them is the egg yolk, the orange or yellow, whatever color you want to call it, whatever color your eggs are. But the center, the yolk part, the fat, not the protein, the white part, but the orange center. And I just take some, I put some water in a bowl, usually warm water, and I just pinch real hard between my fingers and I work it back and forth and, make it like just a powder or mucus, it gets slimy. But it's really cool because CPDs like to eat in the water column. And if you, do that, don't suck up the big parts. But then I use the little syringes, that you can get at the dollar store or whatever for kids. This is a Care Touch for single use, but this is, it's got all the measuring sizes on it. But, everything you need. And then all I do is I just stick it in there, pull it out, and then I spray it all over the top. Well, like over here, I put some in shrimp tank, because in a Caridina tank, because Caridinas don't have KH in them. But so I wanted to see how they would respond, and they respond very well to a tank with no KH. But when you squirt some in a tank, it'll actually, my tanks, of course, remember, don't have filters. The only tanks that have filters are the big tanks up here. But these tanks have, see this little baby one, I move it tank to tank in between water changes just to help move the water around. But I don't run air, nothing on these anymore. So when you squirt the egg yolk stuff in there, it comes down and the powder just sits right in the water column. And they just come up, the babies, they just come up and eat it. It's crazy. And here's the tank right here that all the babies are in. And I have a dual sponge filter in there, but the bubbles are so slow, so it doesn't blow the food around. It keeps it in the water column, and they go nuts. The egg yolk is a real big, it's a big deal. But I don't feed bloodworms to them. To me, it's just way too big. Because I tried to feed them brine shrimp, and they kind of just leave it alone. Now I'll feed the Maltese brine shrimp, and then I pour the baby brine in there for the babies, and then I do the flake. They just go nuts over that stuff. But the frozen baby brine, it's really easy to get, and they just tear it up. If I have not said happy Thanksgiving to anyone, Yellowstone Aquatics, welcome. Brandon, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see everyone. Spawn the majority of the day. I haven't started to focus on them, so I only get the Ram Survivor. Yeah, I dumped some out the other day that actually had some that were hatched in there, because I'd like to leave it in there like 2-3 days, but that's what I'm saying. If I can get them close to after they laid, it's cool. But like the males just sitting there and they play with each other and stuff. But my thing is I need more females. So I need to start power feeding, get these babies going. Once they get to a certain size, I'm going to put them all in there. I just want a tank. I think seriously, I want a tank of 100 or 200, and these fish aren't cheap. So, and here's the thing is breeding them, pulling the eggs, doing all this stuff, there's a little chore to it. It's not like, just cichlids. You just put them in a tank and they, they're born alive and they're mouth brooders and stuff like that. So there's some work to them, and you take pride in that. And, they're little trouts, and, it makes me very happy to do it. But I just want to pack the tank, but not, my male to female ratio. I have a few too many males, but right now I don't want to get rid of any. They're not, like right now there's a female over here on the side. She's just plump as can be, and no one's on her. They don't go after them and like beat them up or anything, but I just want to get a lot more females in there. But literally my goal is to have like 100 or 200 CPDs in here, and of course sell them. I want to say that I got my CPDs from, who was it? Was it Peplin Creek Aquatics? All I know is that my CPDs are like some of the highest grade. My friends at the store, they can't keep them alive. They tried to breed them since I'm doing it now, and they're skinny, they die, they're horrible grade, so it's just the ones I got are just really high end fish. Hippie John, what's up, doggy dog? Happy Thanksgiving. Frozen Daphnia. Yeah, I got something else in there. God, what is it? It's Miso shrimp. Yep, I have frozen miso shrimp, but this was all from when I had other, the other stuff. Um, but if it's too big, I don't want it going to the bottom and going bad. Even though there's plecos in there, I'm not trying to follow the tanks out. So I try to keep it real small, real small. And not overfeed either. I like to feed, 2-3 times a day. I melt some in a little beaker, pour some in, walk away. That's it. They love it. They go crazy. Here's the thing. I almost Brandon, you're talking about extreme. I was given these. Almost nothing eats them. I mean, I've never had luck. I don't like a food that I have to feed and force it onto them, like starve them for them to eat. Lettuce, you get this, bloodworms. Well, that's $30. Freeze dried. I put that in there once because these are real small because they're freeze dried, so they're super small. But I put this in there. I put my mulberry powder in there. All sorts of stuff. What else do I have? Oh, there's a few more things that I feed them. This Daphnia, freeze dried Daphnia. Then there's one more thing for the fry. Well, there's a couple things I feed for fry, but I do. Is this it? I feed 60% protein, and it's powdered, probiotic, dried yeast, all this good stuff. Multivitamin, but this stuff it's powder. But what I feed them when they're first born is I'll even give them a little thing here. I'll leave the thing on with their name. This is krill. It's Sarah, but it's Micron. Sorry about that if it's not. But this is the Micron food. Without dyes and preservatives, with zooplankton and phytoplankton for rearing fry, supports healthy development and strengthens disease resistance. It says ingredients are spirulina, krill, brine shrimps, fish meal, wheat flour, stinging nettle, herbs, alfalfa, brewer's yeast. Got to get them a buzz when they're eating, right? Then added it. It also has parsley, sea algae, paprika. Got to flavor their food. Gamaris. That's the Gamaris cold liver oil containing 34% omega fatty acids, spinach, carrots. This is very small. Mannan. I don't know. I can't. What is that? OLIGOSACH carotenoids or something. Algae, green lipped mussel, garlic. And it's got vitamins and provitamins, all this stuff. Crude protein 55.6, crude fat 6.2, crude fiber 11.4, moisture 7, crude ash 11.3. But yeah, it's a Sarah product made in Germany, Heinsberg, but it's a fry food. And actually, the gentleman or the kid, the young adult, that told me how he bred CPDs. He said that this is what he used to rear his fry. So I got it, and works really good. Really, really good. So, Tim Gazzetti, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, the bucket's cool. I don't know what I'll use them for, but I just have them stored away right now. I have the food in that container. My wife went and bought me the Rubbermaid container from the dollar store. So I got it click shut and I got it. I broke it down. Like I said, the leaves are this big, the food, and you got to bust it all up. But that's both flavors in there. And then I take it out, put it in there. Um, and as you would think, they're such small fish. It's not like I'm filling that up much. So um, it's just good to have it for the future when I start to get a buttload of them. So feeding the fry Repashy spawn and grow, just adding the powder. Good idea. Yeah, I mean powder is great. I have Repashy that I was gonna do too because I want to make it for the plecos. But yeah, that's good to put in there. I've had so many powders. Here's the thing. I actually have some, but I don't know where it is. I've moved everything around in here so much. We've changed up the lower level here. We've done so much. If you guys notice, like Luke has this crystal, just a whole bunch of stuff. He collects crystals and rocks just like I always did. Now he's taking it up, but matter of fact, uh, so I have First Bites, of course. Here's my Repashy, super green. But it's the same thing. I mean, it's powder. You put it in there. There's all your stuff. All that good stuff is in here. It's just if you want to put it in a cube or something, you can do that. But here's another food that my buddy at the store brags about. He uses it, and at the store he now breeds piranha, like thousands and thousands of piranhas. He took over a guy's business and added it to his. But this New Life Spectrum, $12. And these are itty bitty little balls, but you can crush them up. I have one of those pestles. But it's a whole Antarctic krill, squid, and fish protein. Small pellets, 0.5 millimeter to 0.75. Buoyancy is high density. Most pellets will sink. Yeah, so it's a sinking food. Giant squid. Oh my God, I can't read this. Whole Antarctic krill. Whole wheat flour. Whole something fish. I don't know. I can't read it. It's so small. I mean, if you guys look at that, it won't even show up on there. And I have bifocals on this. But anyways, it's very, very small, but it will crush up in your fingers. It's just something that you could crush up and feed them this as a powder too. Because, for one, you don't want it. If it sinks all the way to the bottom, my fish do go to the bottom and eat. But, you have your plecos down there that a cleanup crew, and they love that stuff and everything. But I try to switch my stuff up. But I do the baby brine, because they say how much if you feed them a baby brine, it keeps them fat and they like to breed a lot. Well, I'll feed them baby brine in the morning. I'll feed them the flake stuff in the afternoon. And then I do baby brine at night. So they get baby brine twice a day. And then I feed them the other stuff throughout the day and stuff. So that's how I roll with that. And they do really, really good. So But those are some of the foods that I use. I guess I have more than what I thought. So only Oscars, welcome, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. Scotty's Aquati. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. If I missed you, happy Thanksgiving. Pumpkin King, what's up? There he is. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah, Oscars are pretty sweet. My buddy just got lemon Oscars, I think they were, or no, it looked albino. It was incredible. Patty's Petite Tanks, welcome, Patty. It's so good to see you in here. I thought Sarah had a lot of fillers and a lot of their food. It could be, could be. I'm not sure. All I've when he gave me this to feed, I was like, because I was like, oh my god, what am I gonna feed him? You know, uh, he gave me this and he said it works great. And I mean, I think everything that says now don't quote me on this, but I thought if it said meal, that's a filler. But I'm sure every food's got a filler in it. It's like when people make shrimp food. I didn't do it because I didn't think that the shrimp liked it, but they use flour. You'll see people on there making, they're like, yeah, add flour in, it helps it stick and this, it's filler, but I always ask myself, what shrimp where do they eat flour and, you know, no, but I always thought if it said meal that it was a filler. So don't quote me on it, Patty, but I agree that most of the foods are fillers. That's why they always say if you can get fresh or frozen, that's always the best. And actually, frozen's the best because if, let's say, you have something like, I don't know, you're feeding silverside fish to like my bass. I don't want to feed live ones to it because they could have a stomach bug or carry something. But if it's frozen, then that stuff's dead. You don't have to worry about like shrimps, and all that stuff. Feed shrimp to fish, anything like that. But that's why they say, like, if you can go to your store, what is it, once a week or go there once a month, and they have the brine shrimp, the live brine shrimp, and you go in there and, maybe spend $2 or $1 and come home and feed them that live brine shrimp. Oh, they go nuts. You're like, wait a minute, why do they do that? Well, it's because there's no additives and preservatives in it, and they'd rather eat live food than they would dry food, I would think. Um, so that's why frozen food is so good. I mean, you can get those huge blocks like this of brine shrimp and just literally take a razor knife and cut off a little itty bitty piece and drop it in there. And, they get all the best proteins and everything. It'll last you a year, if not longer. But I do agree with you. DMC, what up? Welcome, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving, my brother from another mother. Well, pull my wishbone, call me stuffed, unless my eyes deceive me. It's Detroit, live from Motor City. Groovy, gravy, and peace, buddy. Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, it is me. James Gape, hey, what's up? Thank you for stopping in. Thank you, James. Losing weight? Shoot. Yeah, from like 330. I just went to the doctor the other day. I'm 292. So, all that stuff plays a part. Oops. I don't want to roll over my quarter-inch water line. All that stuff plays a part. Depressing, gain weight, all that stuff. So I'm losing weight, just not fast enough. But I have gone down 2 waist sizes in my pants. Had to buy a bunch of new work clothes, stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. But thank you for noticing. Master Aquatics, just call me Eduardo. What is going on, Eduardo? Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. Hikari Daphnia you have makes a good binder. Oh, does it? Some foods are worse than others, and I thought Sarah had more fillers at the top of the ingredients. Oh, well, no. Well, they might, but this being for fry, they might not put so much. I mean, it's $6 for this little thing. So maybe, it's 8 ounces, 25 grams or 50 milliliters. But maybe they don't in this because it's for fry. But yeah, that's the exact. Yeah. Feeding guide ingredients. That's the first one, spirulina, 51%, krill, 18%, brine shrimps, fish meal. That's the first meal that it says. Then wheat flour. And okay, wheat flour. I mean, still it's flour. That's a binder, I would think. Stinging nettles. That's a plant. Herbs, plants, alfalfa, brewer's yeast. Like I said, parsley, sea algae, paprika, gamaris. Those are the worms, aren't they? Cod liver oil containing 34% omega fatty acids, spinach, carrots, mannin, whatever that is. But then it's algae, green lip mussels, garlic. So I mean, like I said, I don't know too much about this, but it looks like there's 2 things in there that could be fillers, but the rest sound pretty good. But that's the only Sarah stuff that I have. But so, all right, we're at the bottom. It's great seeing everybody. Gosh, dog. So I'd feed that the hubby. So here's a question. I don't know where everyone's from. Does anyone here outside of the norm, does anyone here eat anything different than turkey on Thanksgiving? Do you even celebrate Thanksgiving? Well, because I know some religions may not celebrate Thanksgiving. They might not eat turkey. Most of all my friends, wait a minute. I have some Hispanic friends that don't eat turkey on Thanksgiving. They eat other stuff. I can't remember what they said that they eat, but it's all yummy stuff. But not every nationality eats turkey per se on Thanksgiving. But is there anything that you eat as the main course because of your religion or where you come from in the world? Could say that. I don't really think there's anyone in here that's really far away, so I'm sure that we're all close to eating the same stuff. TV dinners, yeah. TV dinners are always fun. You always get that apple or cherry cobbler, apple crisp, or some stuff like that. But the turkey was, is always, I don't know, it was always passable. It was acceptable as a kid. The Hungry Man. You had to get the Hungry Man, and then you get the what is that called? The stuffing. Get it with stuffing. Everything was all right if you put a little salt on it, shared the gravy off the turkey and stuff. It wasn't horrible. It's kind of like going, if everyone here knows what White Castle is, and you're like, there's no way that's 100% beef. They say it is. Salmon and ham. Oh, wow. I am not a ham guy. Okay, like everyone should know that I'm a union carpenter. I'm a proud union carpenter. I'm actually thinking of some stuff was, kind of opened my eyes of some avenues I could take and to start open a business in Detroit, since everyone knows I'm from Detroit, the Motor City. Open a business trying to, bring more vision toward the unions because as a kid I didn't know anything about it. I mean, my father was union, he worked for Ford's. My mother was union. She was internal medicine for ATP, if you guys know health insurance, Health Alliance Plan. But you knew about electricians and this, that, and the other, but you didn't really know that what it took to get in, the benefits from it, because you go, God, I wish I could make $30. How do you get into Fords? It was hard, so I guess there's some opportunities that I have to kind of, I have to look into it and stuff. But maybe, get like a grant or something from the city. They offer for you to open businesses that teach people about jobs and how to better themselves. So I was looking into that. But anyways, um, what was I going to say? Oh, so for the Christmas, we have 2 holiday meals. We have Thanksgiving and Christmas dinners at the hall. And for Thanksgiving, they give you a big turkey, and for Christmas, they give you a ham. Well, they just started a thing where I never go to the Christmas one because they give out ham. Well, they just started allowing it to where you could bring your kids and your spouse. Well, so Luke, I'm going to take Luke for the Christmas, but they give me a ham, so I'm probably going to give it away. I'm not a ham guy, but I'm a fish guy. So salmon, I could do that all day, all day. Select Pet, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. My friend is going to his mom's and he brings his own rice. Like, dude, just one day, leave that alone. Rice is, I mean, there's so much you could do with rice. It's kind of like a hamburger. I could probably eat hamburger every day. Just, sloppy joes, cheeseburgers, meatloaf. I don't care what you say. If you don't like meatloaf, you ain't American. That's all there is to it. If you don't eat meatloaf, you're not American. That's all I'm saying. You don't have the red, white, and blue inside of you. I mean, I can't go as far as saying that, you're not American if you don't eat Spam. But as a kid, I was brought up on, we had Spam in the house, a lot of it. Not saying that I enjoy it. I can't really remember much about it, but oh yeah, I do. It kind of tasted, I always tried to think that it tasted like hot dogs, but it really didn't. But yeah, TV dinners were a big staple in our lives. It was always weird. My father, I think he said when he started at Ford Motor Company, he made $2.80 an hour. So it was kind of weird, when he said he bought our house, it was $16,000 way back then. That's, so it was probably 50. Well, my mother's 81, so 55 years ago, maybe 85, 86, maybe 56 years ago. They bought the house for, I think, $16,000, and you're making $2.80 an hour. So, you would say $16,000. Holy Christ, this day and age, I'll have that paid off in 4 months. And it's like, back then it took, forever and a day. So, but yeah, the reason I brought that up is, TV dinners were so good, they all sit around with the TV tables. I think that's what TV tables were for, were those TV dinners, because they were hot. How many people here still use the TV tables? We use them, the ones you fold out. They keep in your living room. We don't really eat in the kitchen. We have a table in there. We have a bench out of a Dairy Queen. It's really cool. It's a wood, the slider things. The Dairy Queen was closing. And they had them for sale, and it was mint. I mean, it's all the steel bottom and everything. It's got the big table and the wood slats on it. You slide in, and it's like 2-3 people. It's super cool. It's nostalgia, but that's our kitchen table. We don't do, we do things different, so. only celebrate any holiday by force. They have always just been another day for me. Hey, totally understandable. I was never grown up. I was never big, on holidays. It wasn't always the happiest days in our household. Um, because it seemed like that's when the arguments would start up. But becoming a parent myself, Christmas is my favorite. But now that I have children and everything, things are a little different here. So we try to make them happy days instead of so much. We don't argue and fight, so there's never arguments here. So, but Christmas is my favorite holiday. But I totally understand what you're saying. We had breakfast stuff one year for Thanksgiving. I'll stick with ham and turkey myself. Yep. I like turkey. Not now ham if it's cut super thin. Real thin, like you can almost see through it. I'll make sandwiches, but I don't like thick ham. It kind of makes me gag. Hamburger is the best. It could be anything. Tacos. There you go. Tacos. Yep. Meatloaf, chili. Yep. My wife makes great tacos and chili. But yeah, it's I could do hamburger. I think when I was a kid, I watched a video on I can't remember what it was on. The internet wasn't around back then, so I can't remember what I watched it on. But it was a family that only ate venison, and they swore that their children never were sick, never been to the hospital, anything. Every breakfast, lunch, and dinner, it was venison. They just prepared it all different ways. So I don't know if that's true, but yeah, that's what they said. So Aquafunk, just saying, word union can get you fired. That really, hey, that's pretty bad. Yeah, I hear a lot about Florida. It's pretty bad when things are like that. All I'm saying is if you want to make a buttload of money and you have a skill, come up to Michigan and join up. Like the carpenters, let's just say you can hang drywall or do metal stud, drywall, framing, stuff like that. You could come buy your card. Because Michigan's we need people so bad. You come buy your card, and if you know what you're doing, get hired and be making what I make immediately. The minute you pay for your card and get your card, you get journeyman wage, and after 130 hours, which you can do in so quick, you'll have full benefits. So 130 hours, full benefits, and union wage. And they just they're changing laws up here. So like they can't bring people, let's say from Florida. Let's say we need work done up here on buildings or something. There was a lot of companies that would bring their employees here. And let's just say you got $22 an hour in Florida. You would come work in Michigan and they would only pay you the $22, but Michigan would pay the owner of the company the full wage, but they wouldn't give it to the employees. So now if you come from another state, you'll get the full wage. You get our union wage. If you come up here, you get the full package, but if you come up here, buy your card, you can come up. I don't know why my glasses seem like they're crooked. They probably are. I hit them the other day. But you could come up here, buy your card, and just come up here every once in a while and come work union jobs and make buttloads of money. Just so much money. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of well-rounded people out there that have skills. Like I went through the carpenter school. There's a lot of people out there that work non-union doing houses, framing, stuff like that. and they've had years experience. They don't need the school and they could just sign right up. But here's the thing is they don't know that. They don't know that you could come up, join a union just by buying your card and bam, your whole life changes for your family. Now your children that didn't have health care, now they have health care. They're covered, great health care. We got great health care. Optical, dental, all that stuff. You get everything. You got a Benny's card to purchase your medications and just all that stuff. And you get a pension and an annuity, so and people don't know that, they're working so hard every day, um, and have extreme skill, but don't know that they could just come a few states, you know, pay for a card and then all of a sudden they're making all this huge money. And there's things are slow now because of for one it's winter, but there's a ton of like concrete work and interior. Like January there's a job getting ready to open up at a Ford. It's a Ford building that they just built, and they say that there's 5 years of carpentry work there. 5 years, just carpet, and then they're building another one down the road that's going to need work in there, and it's all interior work. So like the electricians will come in, the window people come in, but then it's all metal stud, drywall, but everyone that's in there, but the buildings are so large, they guarantee 4.5 years. They say if you come to work every day, you'll have a job here for years. You just have to come to work every day and put in your, a day's work, and you're good to go. But I just put it out there. Anybody that wants a life changing job, come to Detroit. The Aquatic Morning Show. Look who it is. Look who it is. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you, though, Aquafunk. Good. No arguing. That's all we do. Aqua Balls. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving, Slick Pit. So Florida keeps sounding better, Funk. Merrick T, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Good to see you in here. Thank you for coming by, taking a few minutes. Hey, thanks everyone for stopping by. The turkey's up there cooking. It's I really wanted to come on here and say hello to everyone. And yes, too many bugs, both the human and insect kind. I don't know. I don't think I'd want to go to Florida, retiring or anything like that. Maybe like a Colorado or Arizona, maybe some mountainous regions, that'd be kind of cool. Yeah, no union down here. Sometimes wish we did. Yeah, it's just even Jess, it's like people that have the skills. I mean, her husband, it's but here's the bad thing is, you look at that and go, man, but God, we have to leave everything that we grew up doing. And, who wants to leave where they grew up at? It's no one. I mean, unless you're in a bad place and there's just like nothing there. I mean, the people that came before you had a life, so it's not like, and to me, a lot of places that pay a lot, it costs a lot to live there. That's another thing I've always noticed too. If it pays a lot, usually it costs a lot to live there. So that's not always the best thing either. I mean, let's just say Florida pays $25 an hour. Well, as far as I knew, it wasn't super expensive to live in Florida. And that's super surprising with all of the things you have to look at there. I've never been there. My brother Clint lives there. But it's you'd think it would cost a buttload to have picture perfect views outside your window every day. But the thing is be happy where you live and know that life where you live is I don't know what I'm trying to say, but there's no reason to pack and leave to go somewhere else unless, more or less you're single, you don't mind changing. But then, down the road, you're going to be like, God, I miss home. But so it sounds like joining the military. It could be. It could be. Guess everyone has their own experience with unions. I had a bad experience and I saw them ruin my dad's career. He could be enjoying retirement now. Not for union, but I'll try to stay positive. Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm just saying, to pump up like a paycheck and stuff and to get some insurance and stuff. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be forever. You come up, do a couple jobs, make some cash, and take off and go back home and do your normal, 9 to 5. But like, oh, they've done that a lot. It was like, let's say, what was like retirement age was like 55 or 52. It's 65 now. So it's like when your deathbed is knocking, that you can retire and get your full pension. But if you retire, if you're working, you can retire at 62. But if you're like, let's say you work 5 years or 6, 7 years, you're like, all right, I'm gonna go do something else. You have to wait till you're 65 to get your full pension. So, but still 62. I mean, that sucks. I remember my father retired when he was 53, I think. He stayed for that last paycheck, and he was, he passed away when he was 76, but he did good, he enjoyed it. But yeah, no, that's I could tell you a bunch of things that aren't fair, but all I'm saying is if someone's got skills and they want to come up for some fat checks, come here, uh work something. You could do a 30-day turnaround or something and leave with whatever and head on home. That's all. Still in you, still in your what is happening, my brother? Happy Thanksgiving. Great to see you too. Yeah, Bill in California. I watched a video of a gentleman who left. Where did he leave? Can't remember where he lived, but he left, went to California because there's no winter there. And he always said maybe he was in Michigan. He was somewhere where it snowed, but he said he hated when the weather turned because the work would slow up and he'd have to sit around. There wasn't anything to do. So he moved to California, ended up, working there, opening his own business, big carpenter business. Yeah, it was a good story to hear. Gobble gobble, turkey ear, turkey furs. New local Austin. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. But food costs about the same wherever you go. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But housing's different. I couldn't even imagine what a house costs in California. Holy crap. Yep. Sometimes the grass isn't greener. It's still the same piss burnt brown on the other side. Hey, I totally agreeable. Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah. Yep. Oh, wow. Social Security doesn't start till you're 27 in California. Holy crap. Social Security here is 62. Dibs Aqua Pets. Welcome, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. If I were to pick any state to retire, it would be Texas, but I'll probably retire right here in this little paid for house. Nothing wrong with that. It's paid for. It's always a thought that if your house is paid for and you have no bills, all you got to do is pay your little itty bitty taxes and stuff, your little phone bill and stuff, and you can eat. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. If you can retire and sit out on your porch every day and enjoy life, you did something right, you know. Later, new local Austin. Yeah, I think we're gonna end this stream. It's almost an hour and a half. Like I said, I want to come on here and say happy Thanksgiving to everyone and let everybody know where we've been and talk a little about some of our new projects and stuff. We're probably going to start adding some more videos and showing some of the new products that that we purchased. Not that were given to us or said, "Hey, will you try this out?" The last time that was done, I gave a review saying it didn't work that good, and then they wanted videos of how it's not working that good. So, oh, I forgot. Just seeing my wife right now. If anyone's looking for, do people know what Funko Pops are? Here, toss me one of those things. I don't care, just anyone. Throw me one without a sticker on it. This is gonna be picky, let's give me a good one. You don't have to take the sticker off.
Without a sticker on it.
Yeah, okay.
They
Well,
all have
there's
stickers.
one sitting right there without a sticker.
Where?
Right there. I see it.
Oh, anime.
These Funko Pops.
Anime?
I don't need a whole bunch.
I just gave it two.
I was sitting here the other day going, man, if I did this, she's going to sit here and just hand me one after another. It's going to be a line. But, yeah. Funko Pops.
Bobbleheads.
Only Oscar says she has a lot of those. Well, here's the thing. A friend of my wife's sent us like over 400 of them for Luke, for us to sell. Well, keep whatever Luke wanted, but to sell for Luke. So we're going to a show December 10th to sell them, but my wife is selling them. She sells them on eBay, or you can go, purchase them on PayPal, pay through PayPal or whatever, or you guys can message me. But we have over 400 of these. Some are really, expensive ones, really hard to find ones because they collected these for I don't know, years. Their kids collected them. Well, now they're in their 30s and they don't need them anymore. They moved out. They have their lives. They're not doing nothing with them anymore. So I'm just saying, if you guys are looking for Funko Pops, that you can.
I'm showing an autograph?
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have ones that are autographed. So she's very proud of these because she works so hard to, get prices on them, log them, research them. So we have all this stuff, all these Funko Pops. Like I said, over 400. We have glow in the dark ones. We have black light ones. We have signed ones. We have Boba Fett. We have, we have Star Wars, all the movies, the cartoon stuff, animes, all this stuff, everything. We have Donald Trump, DC, Marvel, what's old boy, the mafia guy? Tony Soprano. I mean, we got everything. So all I'm saying look, I have 800 some subscribers, and thank you. Happy Thanksgiving to every one of you. But there's so many people that collect these. All I'm saying is if you collect them and you need some that you can't find, contact me. Same as before. The email's the same. Send me a message on here, whatever you want to do. But my wife sells them on eBay. It's under Cat Pie. Cat with a K. K-A-T what? Oh, K-A-T-P-I-A. You can go on eBay or go on there. And she's on there with that stuff. But all these, they're all excellent condition. They're all brand new. They just bought them and kept them and collected them. So now we have them all. No, there's not a shrimp one. Doctor Who. I have a lot of those. I don't know. I'll have to hold on. I'll ask her. She went upstairs to do something. No, there's no shrimp one. I was gonna keep the Donald Trump one. It's the 2016. But like Luke keeps a couple, but yeah, you got Marilyn Monroe. It's just hundreds of them. We have hundreds of them. Plastic containers. But December 10th, we're going to some show she rented. Hey, you got Doctor Who?
I'm wrong.
What?
It's opposite. Cat pie cat.
Oh, it's PIATKKATH. Piat Calf. Yeah. That's what? eBay?
Yeah.
Yeah, on eBay. So it's PIATKATH. Look her up on there. Do we have Doctor Who?
I only got one of him, and it's like this little creature. I can tell you.
She said she only has one, a Doctor Who, and it's a little creature.
It's where is that?
But yeah, I mean, Christmas is coming up. Like I said, the Star Wars stuff, all this stuff, it's not like super hard to find, but you go in stores, they're going to jack up prices for the holidays, and we're pricing them off of, what are you pricing them off of?
eBay and their PPG, their Funko.
So it's eBay and Funko's PPG is what
Dr.
they
Who one I have.
get priced on. And then this is the only one we have from Doctor Who. See, look at that. You ask and you shall receive.
I have it.
Yeah, if we have it. Number 831. And the sticker says Funko 2019 Summer Convention Limited Edition Exclusive.
Yep.
Only Oscar says I want that.
So they only
No, here, how is it not Fat Cat? It's
pie.
I know. Is it a capital P?
No, it's
Oh.
lowercase.
It's hold on, it's this. Yeah, but isn't the K capital?
No.
Oh no. PIATKKATH. That's what it is. I'll email you. Okay. Yes. Only Oscars wants that.
Yeah, that's the one I got.
So yeah, she sends them out. She mails them out. USPS.
Shipping.
Or I mean UPS shipping. But if you email me, we can, get around all that stuff. So, and I'll put my email up for anyone who doesn't know.
321 active on there now.
What?
Funko Pop.
She's been working on this forever. She has 321 active Funko Pops on logged in. That's just logged in. We don't even have them all logged in yet. So there's 321 that are logged in right now. Who? Oh, she said thank you. So that's my email. Anyone needs any Funko Pops, you let me know. Anyone has any questions about fish, you let me know. Anyone has any questions about shrimp, anything. Send me a message, email me, leave a message on here because I get them immediately. Whatever. But okay. Till next time. Stay fishy. Have a great Thanksgiving. Stay safe. And if you guys are having a good time tonight and having some adult pops, please don't drink and drive. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much for spending some of your Thanksgiving with us here. And we hope to see you soon. And so take care. See you later. Bye. Bye.